Greetings and a very warm welcome to Inside Ethiopia channel. Stay tuned. Our Ethiopia is not like some other African country that ushered colonialism. Rather, we are the sons and daughters of our forefathers, that their undefeated and brave blood still runs in our veins. Lately, we came to learn that USA is planning to dismantle our beloved Ethiopia like they did it to every other country, be it in the Far or Middle East and in a number of African countries as well.
In France, for example, your country, very proud nationalistic country, great legacy. In 2017, if Marine Le Pen, the leader of the National Front, is elected president of France and starts persecuting French Jews, French Algerians, French Moroccans, would Israel or Algeria or Morocco have a right to intervene in France to protect those minorities?
I think that it will not be necessary.
We have a long history now of so-called humanitarian intervention, which has led to more people being killed, has led to more devastation. We've seen Libya, which is a complete disaster area now. Places like Afghanistan are still racked with all sorts of problems
so
that they had.
Intervention almost always makes things worse.
Yes, and we're always told it's to go in to stop a massacre. In reality, when you look at the events that take place, it is not to do that. That wasn't what Afghanistan was about. It wasn't what Libya was about. It wasn't what Iraq was about. So I am against this.
Are you saying that humanitarian is a cover?
It is a cover, and it's interesting. You've been having the discussion with Bernard about exactly where and who intervenes, and it is the major powers. It's about certain countries and certain rulers who aren't liked by the Western powers.
And this left us all wondering, do Americans would think Ethiopia would let them do that? Well, as long as brave Ethiopians are still alive, US should know that they will never ever commit their modern colonialism in a sugar-coated fashion, such as grave concern. The whole world understands and remembers with grave concern turning the country into a graveyard. So it will be better if America should be in grave concern about COVID victims dying every single day on US soil. Unless President Biden wanted to divert the attention to dismantling Ethiopia like they did it to Iran, Iraq, Libya and Syria, then to label these victim people immigrants.
لأنه خرب لنا كل بيوتنا. كنت ألعب مع رفقاتي على السطوح بيت الجيران، تجت طيارة تزت برميل نتخبى بالأبو، كن أهلنا يدوروا علينا.
صارت يعني كنا هيك قبل الأحداث هيك نلعب نتسلى بآخر شي، بس صارت الأحداث يعني صرنا هيك نخاف من صوت القذائف نخاف من صوت القذائف شو اسمه انفجارات صرنا نخاف معاش يعني نسترجي إن نطلع نلعب برا كثير وهاي.
خربتنا بيوتنا. ايه خربتنا حياتنا. كنا كل يوم نروح على البحر جدي ياخدنا. من زمان كانوا اهلي يجيبوا لي العاب، بس هلا ما حدا جاب لي. صار لي سنتين وما حدا جاب لي.
هن شغلتين مو شغله، انه يرجع ابي وارجع على المدرسه.
حبي تغير كل شيء، يرجع مثل ما كان. النظام مثل ما خربون لازم يرجع البيوت مثل ما كانوا.
خسرت من طريق هاي الحرب 5 أولاد خالتي وعيلتي، يعني أمي وأخواتي الله يرحمن، وخسرت عمي كمان. خسرنا كتير عالم يعني، والأهم من هيك إنه خسرنا بلدنا.
Tengo 3 meses Y pues la verdad, ahorita me he sentido como cansada, porque como casi no hemos comido, no hemos desayunado, entonces me siento como a veces como voy a desmayar, pero voy con fuerza, más por darle fuerza a ellos.
In a long time, for the first time, we Ethiopians get to begin to experience democratization process, and we are more than happy, unlike Egypt and US, our worst enemies that are trying day in, day out, committing a number of war crimes, terrorism acts, and money laundering, which is never new to the whole world. While committing all these crimes, US tries to express their concern. Well, the sad truth is, US needs to stay out of Ethiopia's internal issues, then there will never be any concern anymore. US is our problem. The fact that the members of the United Nations Security Council acknowledging the efforts made by the government of Ethiopia to provide humanitarian assistance doesn't even ring a bell to the Americans that Ethiopia is trying level-based in coming back from the grave, walking and breathing again. It just doesn't sit well with them, for the Americans were bearing in their mind the end of Ethiopia pretty soon, but thank goodness it didn't happen. If the Americans' sugar-coated grave concern was genuine enough, they should have come to Ethiopia earlier in those more than 2 decades that TPLF managed to commit war crime against humanity on innocent Ethiopians. And US should have been voice for the voiceless when TPLF claims back then 100% win over the 2014 national election. They should have stood for the truth, but the Americans didn't. And now when the Ethiopians are trying to wake up from a long-lasting sleep to build up their country and start to say no to any aid whatsoever in the near future, and that independence from the aid must have left the Americans in grave concern then. That's what it seems like it, which is absurd. Prior to the reform happening in Ethiopia exactly 3 years back, all the Americans are looking for was an excuse such as aid to implement their hidden agendas. But now, thanks to the reformist Prime Minister Dr. Abiy, these kinds of schemes are not allowed anymore, which probably left the Americans frustrated over that. Americans have on their bill a phrase saying, "In God we trust," in fact, which seems unlikely because someone that trusts in God will never prepare a sword to attack another human being that resembles God. We Ethiopians might be poor or might not have what Americans say on their dollar bill, but we are pretty sure that we have God in our souls, instincts, norms, and guts that we abide by every single day. Let the Africans deal with African problems, shall we? Thanks for staying with us. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave your comments. Have a good one.
I don't believe it's a case of human rights. I don't think we base these decisions on human rights. If we did, then we shouldn't just intervene in Saudi Arabia. We should really intervene in Palestine. We should intervene in China. We should intervene in Russia. And dare I say, we should even intervene in the United States itself. So the point is not about human rights over here. But in parallel,
ships, minutes are for there to guide from the bottom.